You all. So this is going to be a game design interaction session. So where you can, whatever the doubts you have regarding the game design in this particular global jam, we can interact and we can discuss and we can solve those issues. What are the issues and what are the things that you guys are stuck in? Okay. Just feel free. It may be the simple. Sometimes our ideas may feel silly or stupid. Sometimes that might be good. We don't know. So it can be anything. So I'm free to answer to your silly questions. And myself, Sandeep Sambaraju, as all of you know, I'm a game designer mentor over here. Clear? Let's start. Okay, and that's it. Chalo, let's start. Okay. Chalo, you can start just raise your hands and just you can give me your questions and whatever the things you guys are stuck in with the game design. Feel free, please. Making the player to stop or restricted to some area. So in order to putting up any kind of an invisible barrier over there, put up a tree or put up a bush that he cannot cross, or if not, just draw some layer saying that it was a river, he cannot cross. So just try to put up with the environmental assets. So it looks like an open world, but still you are restricted in a linear level design there. Is right?
Yeah.
Cool. Next, yeah.
Can you use the collider over there instead?
Where we can use
two
a
colliders. One is a trigger collider which shows a message that you can't cross.
Yes, but what it feels like, if you remember the player agency. So the player agency is, as a player we need to have our liberty to roam around the entire game world. But if there is an invisible wall in front of me, what it feels like, the developer is restricted much. Right? He was restricting me. So it feels like it's kind of a gamer psychology. It feels like he was restricting in each and every section. I don't want to play. He might go to the rage quit. So in order for that, you need to understand the gamer psychology and make sure that put up a barrier, something barrier. Like for example, you can put up a broken car. So it feels like in a psychological way that you cannot cross that thing, or you cannot climb on top of it. Right? Instead of putting on top of it, you can put up a collider. So it's like that. Okay, try to think about the player agency. It doesn't feel like players are restricted in the game world. Though we are restricting in a Jugaad way.
GTA 5.
Okay, the GTA 5. Okay, in the GTA 5, and for example, I'll give you the example of have you played God of War?
Yes.
The 2018 and the Ragnarok. Though it feels like an open world, but it's not an open world. Yeah, it's a linear level design. So over there, what they did, they created a certain path in such a way, they put up all the environmental assets here and there, so where a player cannot cross. So what it feels like, for example, if the player is running on one particular path, he need to run on that particular path itself. What they do, they put a valley on the other side and a fire on the other side. So as a player psychology, what it feels like, no, valley I cannot jump, fire I might burn. So what he will do? He'll run in the middle only. What as a developer we want. Got it? Yeah. Next question.
You have talked about the God of War 2018, right?
Yeah.
So there is a loading screen thing as well. There is a new thing. So the game has started. The game actually not has started.
Yeah.
You need to go back and this and that.
Yeah, the shortest path.
Something appeared like a fire or something. You need to go and this portal will open. So,
yeah, so that's kind of a loading jugaad, you can say. So sometimes what happens is we'll be creating the environment in different scenes and the levels in a different scenes. So we cannot put on entire game into one particular scene. So what they do is from the transition to the one scene to the other scene, by the end of the scene one, they'll put up a shorter path or some kind of a cinematic thing at the end of the first scene. So by the time we are finishing that particular sequence, right, the second scene will be loaded. Okay, so that feels like it's kind of a seamless gameplay without having a loading screen. But in the back end, the loading screen is running behind on the squeezed parts or in the cinematic things. Okay, and any more questions regarding the game designs? Okay, I'll ask. So how is the game designing is going on? As well? So forget it's not about one thing. Regarding the game design, I used to say all the time the same thing. It is like you guys are the captain of the ship. Whenever you got an idea, try to put up entire idea on paper. If it is possible, write it down. So what happens is you will be clear on each and every section. Okay, and as a game designer we have to guide the like entire production. It feels like everyone are working on their own, so they everyone has their own like for example developers will be programming and artists will be doing the 3D modeling stuff, and 2D artists will be working on the UI and all these things. But who will be guiding them? That should be a guiding thing, right? What was it? It was a design. बिना design का कहाँ जा रहा है? It feels like a path without a destination. So as a designer, we need to create a path, and in that particular path, we need to create an experience. What kind of an experience we wanted to deliver to the player? Yeah, we can create a mechanics like a direct combat and everything. But based on the each and every combat, the like a delivered emotion will be different. At some point, for example, if you played Arkham Knight, while we are doing the combat thing, right? What it feels, it's like we are like we are fighting with the crime, and we are keeping a safeguard the entire Gotham City, right? And if you any one of you played this game Ghost of Tsushima, the final fight with his uncle, that particular fight, what it feels like, you don't want to fight with him because you honor that boy. I mean that your uncle or something. So though it was the same mechanic, so why the animation and the delivery was changed based on the design? Okay. So for that, first thing, keep like whatever the idea you get, keep it on the paper. What we call it as a GDD, a game design document. So where we mention each and every section in detail. Okay. Then after, try to distribute the work to the rest of the departments. So as a captain of the ship, you will be clear. As a production, everyone will be clear. Cool.
What happens is that even after you finalize your GDD, you will get new ideas. And
Yeah.
How do you combat with that? And if you have any disagreements with your team members as a designer, like they say that something is not implementable, or if you have some creative differences, they want something else for the story and you have something else for the story, how do you deal with it?
Okay. So for this one, I'll tell you in an industry manner. So this happens in everywhere. So what happens is, whenever you are done with your GDD or whatever the game design document, right? We'll be having a meeting called KOM. It's like full form क्या है? Kick-off meeting. Sorry, I am bad at full forms. Okay, it's called kick-off meeting. In that kick-off meeting, what we do is we'll explain our entire idea in detail to the entire team. At that point, what happens is whatever the edge cases we have. For example, I mentioned, for example, he's a developer. I say that I need a mechanic. Whenever I am running, there should be a lava popping in the background, and some dragons need to be coming in front of me. I just mention, as a developer, what he need to say. That's an edge case. We cannot implement that one. Why? Because तुम्हारे पास पहले budget नहीं है, उतने लोग भी नहीं है. And end of the day, if you implement all those things, the frames might drop whenever you are walking and running. So as a developer, he will give his inputs, and based on the artist also. Sir, if, every time if you are popping the lava in the background, what happens? Again, it will be a load on the processor. It will be creating a processing issue in the background. We cannot run the game. So क्या करना है? So we need to take all these inputs, and we need to change the whatever the necessary points in the entire GDD. So once this is done, we will fix the GDD by end of this meeting. Once this is locked, you're not going to change anything in the GDD, and there you might face these some kind of an issues at some point. Says that some random developer or some random QA artist comes on and he says that he implements something else, and he asks I want this particular thing to be developed. The player need to run and fly quickly. Then what as a developer or as an artist, what we need to say is this mechanic was there in GDD. GDD में है क्या? If this thing is not presented in a GDD, हम नहीं काम करेंगे. Straight away point. Please try to follow this thing. This thing will change a lot in your gaming industry. Most of the time, what happens is in the same way. While we are working, what as a resource, what we feel right, this can be better. At this point, we implement without asking anyone. So, but that will have create an obstacle to your GDD or the scope. And again, we have to do the resource management and all, and it will be time constrained too. So first, done with your GDD. Once your GDD is done, try to have a KOM, which is kickoff meeting. By the way, in the kickoff meeting, we'll discuss all the edge cases from the developer point of view, designer point of view, and the rest of the designer point of view, and the artist point of view, and from all the departments. And once everyone are clear, take those inputs and finalize it and lock it. Then you won't find any kind of an issues. Clear? थोड़ा लंबा explanation दिया, ज़रूरी लगा मुझे, ठीक है? Okay, any more questions? And one more thing, तुम लोग तेलुगु में भी पूछ सकते हो, हिंदी में भी पूछ सकते हो. It's not like we are going to talk in English or Hindi. Okay? Any doubts?
What do you do when teammates are not cooperating? Not putting in the same effort as you? Change the
Same. Change it. Okay. What do you have to do? So, like I'll tell you now. In my way, what I do is, if the people are not interested as much as like me, so I am passionate about this particular idea. If the people are not passionate, if they are just working as a working resource and just wanted to finish the product and they just wanted to leave, so in that time, what you need to do, you should have a managerial qualities. If you have those kind of a qualities, right, you can literally indirectly you can command them, like saying that this is an idea, we have to do it. And at this point comes the production pipeline. You can mention that as per the production pipeline, we logged it, we have to work it and we have to finish it. But still, if they are not cooperating, change the team. Seriously, they are not interested. Sometimes if you believe in your concept, right, whatever the concept, you have to be strict with your team. And not every time the friendly nature works in a working ground. Okay? You have to be professional. Like Telugu mein एक थिंग है, तेलुगु में बोलता हूँ, पेकाटे तम्मुడు तम्मुడే అంటే बाय बाय पत्ते तीन पत्ती. When it comes to the तीन पत्ती, I'll make sure I'll be serious because I need to win, I need to work it on. उसको बाय का रिलेशनशिप नहीं लेके आना. So most of the time what happens is, when we are collaboratively working, it feels like he's one of my friend. I was being with him a long way, so I cannot scold him or something. It will happen. At that time, just be professional. Okay, the professionalism works. Okay, if it's not working, change the team. Yeah, any more questions? नहीं है, बस सुनने के लिए आए तुम लोग, कुछ नहीं है. हाँ.
So how do we get more and more ideas about a same, like a theme? For example, this game that has a mask. So how do you get new and new ideas?
New and new
Ideas.
Ideas.
How you can use the mask and
Nah, okay. Actually, there was a thing called. We know that actually. You guys have a subject called game psychology. In that one, there will be one particular chapter which I love a lot. So the answer was, everyone says that you have to do the brainstorm, right? Brainstorm करना है, ideas generate करना है. But किसी ने भी नहीं बोला how to do the brainstorm. Do we know the process of doing the brainstorm? So we need to learn how to do the brainstorm. So brainstorm कैसे करना है? Pick up a theme and theme के around जितने भी elements है, like real time elements, look at and observe those elements. For example, my theme that like I came up with the Viking. Viking के ऊपर क्या करता हूँ मैं? Viking के जितने भी real time elements है, I started observing them. I'll do the R&D based on those elements. So once I started doing those elements, the ideas will pop up continuously. Why? Because observing. So for example, I just came up with an idea called Viking, but when I was looking at their homes and I got to know that, so they used to do the voyaging to the one country to the other country, while they are doing what will be their battle style and what kind of clothes they are making. So if I can pick, if I got to know, so these kind of clothes these Vikings are making. So I can come up with an idea. My protagonist, who is the cloth maker for the Viking. I got it right. This idea was generated right now by observing the elements around your idea. Okay, so this is how you need to do the brainstorm. Clear? Yep. Any more doubts? अभी इतना शांति में क्यों देख रहे हो? ये संताप सा बनी है. ठीक है. I hope everyone are clear with your game design thing. for the global game jam. I hope. Still, if you have any kind of a doubts, you can reach out to the 5th floor where we have our Vishnu sir. Right now he's not there here, but still we have our Vishnu sir in the 5th floor, and Uttam sir and me. We can come up with like kind of a solution for your whatever the game design obstacles. Cool.
एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है
या
ओपन वर्ल्ड हम लोग खेल रहे हैं तो ओपन वर्ल्ड पे मेन चीज होता है कि बहुत बड़ा वर्ल्ड होता है तो इधर उधर कहाँ जाना पड़ता है तो शुक्र डायरेक्शन जो होता है तो डायरेक्शन के लिए हम लोग कॉम्पास मैप का यूज करते हैं मिनी मैप का यूज करते हैं अदरवाइज विंड्स जो विंड्स का होता है अभी कौन सा गेम था वो
नेविगेशन गोस्ट ऑफ त्सुशिमा
तो मतलब वो कैसे सिलेक्ट करे अगर मैं एक छोटा सा भी ओपन वर्ल्ड बना रहा हूँ तो देयर हैज टू बी अ मैप और समथिंग टू गिव द प्लेयर अ डायरेक्शन कि कहाँ पे जाना है तो वो कैसे डिसाइड करे
so simple like that comes under the navigation. It comes under the player navigation. So whenever we are creating an idea, right, how much of immersion you wanted to put in that game. So if we just wanted to go with the gaming elements, or it's going to be a narrative element, or it's going to be like a most immersive combat element, based on that the navigation elements will change. For example, if we have a racing game, for sure we'll put up a map. Why? Because and we are like some adat bhi hai map dekhne ka while we are driving a car and everything. So the UI it won't distract us. But when it comes to the narrative game, right, whatever the UI elements we look into it, right, everything is a kind of a distraction. It feels like we are not in that particular world. So instead of doing that, what they did in the Ghost of Tsushima, they put up the wind lines. So that was a part of a world. So which was created a immersion. Now, so we need to select based on how much immersion we need to give, or the gameplay elements, or any kind of a real-time experience. Based on that, we'll select the navigation element.